Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Africa News with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, Algerian militants pledging allegiance to the Islamic State group execute a French hiker taken captive over the weekend. It's the first time a hostage is killed in IS's name outside of Iraq. Well, there are fears that the execution in Algeria could see a snowball effect on other hardline Islamist groups operating in North Africa. This as France continues its counter-terror operation across the Sahel. And Nigerian lawmakers are skeptical about the government's explanation as to how millions of dollars in $100 bills stuffed into a suitcase ended up on a private jet in South Africa. The government says the cash was for a legitimate arms deal to battle Boko Haram insurgents. First up, though, murdered because he was French. An Algerian Islamist group has beheaded a French hiker kidnapped in the north of Algeria on Sunday. Militants calling themselves the Caliphate soldiers released a video of Hervé Gordel's execution on Wednesday. In it, they pledge allegiance to the Islamic State group that operates in Syria and Iraq and has itself killed 3 Western captives. The Algerian extremists had demanded France pull out of airstrikes targeting IS fighters in Iraq. Paris refused, and President François Hollande has called the murder of Gordel cruel and cowardly. It's the first time that a hostage has been killed outside of Iraq in the name of IS. Well, Olivier Guita is a counter-terrorism and security consultant. He joins us now. Olivier, now, the promptness of the execution is really very much a departure from Algerian radical groups who've, in the past, made millions ransoming hostages. The so-called Caliphate soldiers say they've been inspired by IS, but is this a genuine link, or are they just being opportunistic?
I mean, look, as far as the jihadists go, you always join the strongest. And since the beginning of the year, ISIS, or the Islamic State, has taken over AQ as the most powerful terror group in the world. So there was discussion back in July within the ranks of AQIM, Al-Qaeda and Islamic Maghreb, whether to join the Islamic State or to stay put and stay with AQ. The decision was made to stay with AQ, but a small minority, including Abu Sleiman, who's the new leader of that group, the Soldiers of the Caliphate, pledged allegiance about 10 days ago to IS. So it's very opportunistic, but at the same time, they want to move on and get some results, which they think they didn't get with AQ.
So AQ is Al-Qaeda's North African wing. Is this going to force it to change its tactics?
Possibly, because it's a matter of competition at this point. People that are within the rank of AQIM, Al-Qaeda and Islamic Maghreb, can say, look, for the past 8 years, we have not been able to get the results that the soldiers of the Caliphate can get quickly. So there might be defections within the ranks of AQIM, and if they're bleeding leaders, you can be assured that they're going to join either IS altogether or become more violent to compete with the soldiers of the Caliphate.
Now, France has been particularly active in counter-terror operations in North Africa. Operation Barkhane has recently launched targeting extremists across the Sahel. So for followers of IS in the region, are French citizens likely to now be their #1 targets, or are they just one of many?
No, they're the #1, especially in Algeria. AQIM had made clear that France was enemy #1. So this has just reinforced the fact that French citizens might be at risk all over the region, even more so than a month ago.
Thanks very much, Olivier Guita, there speaking to us from London.